In today's video, I will talk about a $1,400 gaming Prebuilt PC that has the RTX 3060ti, and it's really important for you to watch this whole video because I will compare it with different Prebuilds to see if it's actually the right one, and at the end I will also compare it with a PC build to see which one is your best option. So if you're thinking of buying a Prebuilt PC at this price point or just at any price point, I'm going to be comparing different PCs, so it's extremely important that you stay until the end of the video. Now, I will leave all links down below in the description in case you want to check these PCs out or if you end up buying one of these. Without more to say, let's start. So the PC that we will be talking about today, it's the Skytech Azure from Skytech Gaming. For the CPU, you get the i5 3600K, one of my favorite CPUs, if not my favorite. Great for both content creation, gaming, you won't have any issues, and in my opinion, you don't need the i7 12700K at all unless you're a professional, but for most people you will notice a single difference between the 12600K and the 12700K, so for me it's not worth the price difference unless you have a budget of around 2000 bucks. We get 16 gigs of Ddr4 Ram at 3200 MHz. This is standard nowadays, nothing wrong with this RAM, and it's all that you're going to need for gaming honestly. Bear in mind that you can upgrade the RAM later on without any issue. Then for the graphics card, and the most important part for gaming, as I mentioned, it comes with the RTX 3060ti with 8 gigs of VRAM. This is a great graphics card. I actually wouldn't recommend you buying this right now because of the AMD prices, and on top of that, GPU prices are going to drop in some times. There are new GPUs coming, so I do not recommend the RTX 3060ti. If you want to build a PC right now, my recommendation for you is to get either the 6650 XT or the 6700 XT. The 6700 XT will actually perform a bit better at gaming. The 6650 XT is going to perform really similar to the RTX 3060ti, maybe just slightly slower, but you have to bear in mind that it's like $150 less, so you save up a lot of money. However, the 3060ti is better for content creation, you get ray tracing, DLSS, and these are technologies that might matter to you, and I absolutely love this graphics card. Then we get a 1TB M.2 SSD, 650W 80 plus volt power supply. This PC is great when it comes to specifications, but there's one thing that I don't like, and that's the airflow and CPU cooling. The i5 12600K will need a better CPU cooler than the small one that we're seeing on the screen. So yes, you're paying $1,400 for the i5 12600K and the RTX 3060ti combo, which is actually a really decent price, but at the end you will need to upgrade the CPU cooler, and if you're buying a Prebuilt PC, you don't want to do a lot of upgrades, maybe the RAM or the storage, which are really easy to do, but you don't want to go through the process of taking out the cooler, changing it, especially as soon as you buy it. And the airflow overall for this PC doesn't seem very promising. It's not bad and it's not going to hurt your performance, but if you want something to upgrade in the future, you will probably have some issues with the space. And for that same reason, I actually recommend you another one from Skytech. I'm not saying they're a bad company, I actually love some of these Skytech PCs, and this is the Blaze 3.0 for $1,350, which is $50 less, and you have way better airflow, but you get the Ryzen 5 5600X. This one is slower than the i5 12600K, but remember that with the Ryzen 5 5600X, you don't need an aftermarket CPU cooler, so CPU temps are not going to be an issue. You get better airflow, you spend less, and the performance will be really similar because you get the RTX 3060ti. Once again, for gaming, you won't notice a difference between the i5 12600K and the Ryzen 5 5600X. However, you will achieve more FPS with the i5 12600K, but since both are going to perform great, way more FPS than you need, you won't notice a difference. That's my point. With that in mind, this Skytech Azure, I don't personally recommend it for that reason. Of course, if you want the i5 12600K and you will replace the cooler and you don't care about the space on the case, maybe you upgrade the case, that's fantastic, you can go ahead and buy it. But if you're going to buy a PC from around $1,300 to $1,400, the Blaze 3.0 in my opinion is one of the best options, if not the best one, but we will find out right now. The first one that we are going to compare it with, it's the Alexander's PC, the whole byte AMD gaming PC. I personally think that this PC is too overpriced, and let me explain why. You are spending $1,288 for a gaming PC with the RTX 3050, which I think it's a terrible mistake for any company to go with Nvidia over AMD at this price point, especially if you're picking the 3050, where you can literally pick the RTX 2060 if you want to go for Nvidia for a lower price and you get better performance. So I think that's a terrible mistake. That's why I do not recommend this PC. $1,288, even though if the whole PC is insane, I wouldn't buy it with a 3050. And I'm not saying that the whole PC is insane, it's actually a really decent gaming desktop with the Ryzen 5 5600X, really similar to the other PCs that I showed you on my channel and literally on this video. But the RTX 3050, it's not what you want at this price point, and you're getting the PNY version. If you wanna get the EVGA version, you're spending more money, close to $1,300, and that is not worth the price. Then we have the Skytech 3.0 from Amazon. This one really similar, but it comes with the i5-10400. It is going to be slower for gaming than the Ryzen 5 5600X, and if you're working with a 1440p monitor, I highly recommend the Ryzen 5 instead of this one. For that reason, the Blaze 3.0 from Skytech has this slight edge. However, if you wanna buy from Amazon, you don't wanna buy from any other website, it's not a bad option. Then if we compare it with HP, the Victus 15L customized, I have a whole video talking about this. I've tested this PC myself. You can see the benchmark and the review video in the top right of the screen, and you're spending $1,211 after the 5% discount that I will leave down below in the description. So you are spending like $140 less than the Skytech one and any other PC with the RTX 3060 Ti. You get the i5-12400, which is actually similar to the Ryzen 5 5600X for gaming. You get that extra iGPU, which is going to help you out with content creation, and it's on a discount right now. That's why it's $1,211, but you have to bear in mind that this is an OEM system, so it's not the most upgradable. However, if you don't care about future upgradability, you want a PC right now that's going to perform great at 1440p, then this PC is a really good choice considering that you're saving money. Now, if you ask me and you want both future upgradability, better price, same performance, get a PC build. If we compare it with a PC build with the same exact specifications, the same case, the same graphics card, a B550 Aorus for the motherboard, which is great, 16 gigs of RAM DDR4 at 3200 MHz, CL16 memory, the Ryzen 5 5600X, with no aftermarket CPU cooler, you can get one, no problem with that. You're looking to spend around 20 extra bucks if you want, and that's great. Also, a 650 watt 80 plus core power supply, where on the Skytech one it's a 600 watt 80 plus gold power supply, and the total price it's $1,067. So you're spending less money than the HP one. You're getting literally the same performance, you're getting future upgradability because you can change every component, and you're getting a better price. Now, I will leave this PC build as well down below in the description, and that is my recommendation for a gaming PC overall. But if you don't want to build it by yourself, the Skytech Blaze 3.0 it's actually a good choice, and I would get it for $1,350. But if you're open to building your own PC, you can get better performance not only for this specific PC but for most PCs on the market. So if you found this video helpful, leave a like and subscribe, but most importantly hit that bell button so you get notified when I upload this type of content. Thank you guys for watching, thank you for the support, and I will see you on the next one.